Today I'll show you my complete minimalist one bag setup for theft-proof travel. We'll cover the gear in here, the often forgotten about digital security, and some other simple habits that'll make you a super hard target for thieves. I'll also share one thing that I delete from my phone before every single trip to protect my bank accounts from digital thieves. Before getting into what to actually pack, it all starts with choosing the right bag, and this is the PackSafe VentureSafe EXP45. This bag is arguably the most secure backpack that you can probably buy because it's lined with metal mesh wires, and it has this fancy lockable called a rhubarb system at the top, and combine that with puncture-proof zippers, and you've got basically kind of like a mini portable safe. I actually slashed the crap out of a bag like this with a knife in this video, and while it's not 100% bomb-proof, it will definitely deter opportunistic theft. That said, you don't have to get a fancy PackSafe bag like this to add some security to your setup. You can also just add one of these cheap retractable lock thingies, or even just like a thicker bike lock cable. These are pretty lightweight, and then you can lock your backpack or your suitcase or luggage or whatever to a fixed object in your accommodation, or if you're on an overnight train or something, to the bars in the train, and it will just protect from thieves who are looking for a quick opportunity to grab a bag and go. One thing about packing for travel security is some people think that it has to add a ton of bulk, and while it can add a little bit of bulk, the trick is to being super efficient with everything else, like how you pack your clothes so that you have a little bit extra space. Before we get into more anti-theft tips, I want to quick show you how I pack to save space and weight. My minimalist packing is built around merino wool clothes, plus a couple extra non-merino items that make the whole system work. I'm not going to tell you though that merino wool is the perfect solution for every single person on every single occasion though, so hear me out. Right now I'm here in Brazil in the winter time where it can get warm and heat up during the day and then cool down and get chilly at nighttime, so here's the system I use. During the day, I wear a merino wool t-shirt, boxers, socks, and a non-merino shorts with zipper pockets, or these stretchy non-merino travel pants. And then the trick is, at the end of the day, I take all this off and I put it out to dry, especially if I get a little bit sweaty. Then as the temperature drops and it gets a little bit more chilly, I switch to my night outfit, which is this long sleeve and these comfy merino sweatpants. And if it gets extra chilly, I add in this cozy merino sweatshirt hoodie. The magical part to this is all those day clothes that I left out to dry the night before are now dry, they don't smell at all, and they just feel clean again. So then during the day, I leave out my night outfit to dry, and I can just keep rotating between these two outfits. Actually, I have 3 outfits. I have another exercise outfit, but between these 3 different outfits, and I never feel dirty. I've been using the system for the past 2 weeks here in Brazil without doing any laundry, but today a little wrench got thrown in my plans when I realized that merino wool doesn't do anything to counteract when a baby throws up on you, and so now I do have to wash some clothes, which is one downside to merino, which I'll get to in a second, but it's also why I usually bring 1 or 2 non-merino lightweight outfits just in case of emergency, like a plan B. In my experience, merino wool works best in certain circumstances, and it's not for every circumstance. The first weakness to merino wool is that it's a little bit of a fragile material, so it's not something you're gonna want to go rolling around in the grass and go on, hikes through the bushes and everything, because obviously it's a little bit pricey and you don't want it to rip. I'd say it's for more low-key exploring. Second, if you're out in the jungle in 100% humidity and 90-degree weather where it's super hot and you're gonna be soaked all day, that's also obviously not the best time to wear wool clothing. I wear it regularly in medium hot Cali, Colombia, but not super drenched in sweat hot with it. Because it's a little bit fragile and I do like to get rough sometimes, I pack some cheaper material clothes as well to use during those activities. I think the brand I use is called like Level 32 or something like that. I'll link to it. And then they're really cheap and I don't care if that clothes gets ruined. For even colder weather or unpredictable weather, or if you're going on a long-term trip where you're going to be visiting many different climates, in that case, I would get rid of this merino wool hoodie altogether and instead be a little bit more efficient and pack something like this packable poofy jacket from Decathlon mixed with a packable raincoat, which I have inside right now. And between these 2 things, you can pretty much cover yourself for a really wide range of climates, whether it's cold, a little bit cold, a lot of it cold, cold and rainy. You just have to mix and match. I'll link to all these exact clothes that I'm mentioning and everything else I mentioned in this video down in the description below. So now you have the entire wardrobe sorted. Now for more security things that are in these other pouches. When I'm going through the airport or on the plane or walking through super crowded areas, or when I just want to keep my valuables close to me, I like to use wearable security like this vest here that has over 20 hidden pockets, including tons of different zipper pockets on the inside. Clothes like this are essentially pickpocket proof, and this company actually offers a $1,000 pickpocket guarantee. So if you do get pickpocketed, which I don't know how someone would do this, if you have your stuff zipped up and this zipped up, you can make a claim for whatever gets stolen. And honestly, if you wanted to be a super minimalist, you could probably just pack this vest out with stuff instead of having a separate day pack or something, which would allow you to carry one less bag. I actually did this one time during a flight. I loaded this completely full to avoid carry-on luggage fees, and you can watch that video here. You can seriously fit a ton in here. That said, I'm not an extreme minimalist anymore, and for everyday wearable comfort, I think that wearing a fully packed out heavy jacket is less comfortable than just using a fanny pack or a crossbody bag or a day pack. I'll show you exactly what I use for these in a second, but make sure to like and subscribe if you want more tips on how to travel safer and smarter. Another essential that I always pack in my bag is a reliable way to keep all my devices powered up. I've been using Epica travel adapters ever since I started traveling 10 years ago, which is why I'm excited to partner with them on this video. These adapters have over 16,000 reviews on Amazon and fit into plugs in over 200 destinations and regions. Since I'm working on the road and travel with lots of tech, I use their 70-watt TA105 Pro model that can fast charge my laptop and other high-powered devices all at the same time. But if you don't need all that juice to power up a laptop, they also just released their Pulse 45-watt model that's perfect for simultaneously charging smaller devices like phones, earbuds, cameras, and other stuff. It's no fun arriving in your destination only to realize that you don't have the right plugs to charge your devices, so make sure to grab one of these using the link down in the description. Next, when I'm actually out exploring my destination, I like to use this fanny pack slash, it could also be used as a crossbody bag by PackSafe, which has built-in locks here, and it can also be locked to a fixed object just like this backpack. So if you're in a cafe or on the beach or in a park or something, you can lock it up to a fixed object so people can't grab it and run away. Also, you can lock it to yourself if you're walking through a busy area like at a festival or something and you don't want someone to be able to unclip your fanny pack like it's easy to do with normal fanny packs. This actually can pretty much lock it to yourself. If I'm going out at night to a crowded place or in a sketchy area or something where I just don't feel good about bringing my brand new iPhone, I also have my old iPhone that I kept that I bring just as a backup phone just in case. This phone doesn't have any sensitive information on it and only the essential apps are on it. Next, since I usually use this fanny pack while I'm on the plane, I have a pen in here for filling out forms, but I leave it in here all the time because this is actually a steel framed pen, which could be used as a self-defense mechanism if you are ever in a sticky situation. Next, when I'm out on the streets exploring, instead of having my phone with the maps out staring at my phone all the time oblivious to my surroundings, I normally start the map and then listen to the directions in one of my earbuds, or the map also goes on my watch and it will just vibrate whenever I need to make a turn instead of me having to pull out my phone all the time. Now, if I'm going out for a full-on day trip and I don't have enough room to pack what I need in this fanny pack, I also have packed inside here a packable day pack to use that can fit more stuff. Or if I'm going to work in a cafe or something and need to carry my laptop around, I have this packable day pack that pretty much packs down to nothing on the inside of your bag. So when you're traveling on planes or trains or boats or whatever, you can just worry about your one big bag and have this empty one packed inside of it instead of having to carry around two bags. Full disclosure, this one bag setup is what I would use in an ideal scenario if I was traveling solo. But now that I'm traveling with a family and a baby, I'm a bit less of a minimalist and I broke the one bag rule, and now I actually travel with a totally separate personal item bag in addition to my carry-on. So I have carry-on and another personal item bag, which allows me to pack a little bit more things for our family and also for work. And I personally am really digging this personal item size bag, which is the Air City Pack Pro 2. And I like it because I can pack my laptop in here and it has a floating laptop pocket. So I don't need to carry a bulky extra case around my laptop. And I feel that it's safe just like this. So if you're trying to go super minimalist and you want to do one bag travel and you figure out that you're not able to fit all the things that you need to fit using this one bag method where you pack an empty bag inside of your bigger carry-on bag, then you can also revert to this second option, which works as well. well. You just have a little bit more to lug around on those travel days. We'll get to some other tricks that I use to protect my physical gear in a second, but arguably more important than protecting your physical gear is having a solid, secure digital system, and most people forget about this. If someone steals your backpack or laptop or camera or whatever, you might lose $100 or $1,000, but if someone can get into your digital system life, they can clear out your life savings. That's why on my iPhone, and I'm sure you can do something similar with Android, I set, in addition to my passcode and my Face ID, on sensitive apps like my email and my notes and my banking apps, I also set it so that it's locked with Face ID. That way, if someone steals your phone when you're using it and it's already unlocked, or they watch you type in your code and then steal it, or they rob you with a weapon or something and force you to type in your code, they might be inside of your phone, but they still can't get inside of your apps. This might sound extreme to some people, but I actually delete my email app from my phone, which will prevent a thief from using the forgot my password link to basically screw up my whole life. If I do need my email on my phone, like to look up a reservation or something, I just do it the old school, old-fashioned way on Chrome or Safari, whatever. I go to gmail.com, log in, find the email, and then log out. As far as financial stuff go, I carry 3 different cards, all that have no foreign transaction fees, and each stored in a separate location. One in my wallet, one in my day pack hidden, and one hidden in my main bag in a secret hiding spot. By the way, if you need secret hiding spot ideas for where to hide your valuables while traveling, watch this video next. I also add my cards into my digital wallet because if my wallet gets stolen or something and I need to have a new card shipped to me with a new card number, it automatically updates in my digital wallet so I can just continue using my card like normal and I don't have to wait for weeks or however long it takes the bank to ship me my card. Some banks ship them super fast, but I've met several travelers who've been pretty much stranded because they lost their only credit card and the bank was taking weeks or months to ship them a new one. If you want a quick checklist of everything we covered in this video, I made a free security packing download you can get in the description. Okay, this is just my semi-minimalist bathroom bag, nothing interesting to see here, but let's take a look at these 2 tech pouches. In this one, I have my minimalist camera kit, and the camera I'm using to record this video is a tiny, inconspicuous camera. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I just like it because it fits in your pocket and it's a little bit more discreet than having your phone out and taking big old selfies like this all the time. But if I weren't doing YouTube and wanted to be super minimalist, I would probably just use my phone's camera and not carry an extra camera. But something that has come in really handy, even if you're not making YouTube videos and you're just a normal traveler who wants to take pictures of videos during your trip, is this super compact tripod setup that all fits in your pocket basically, and you don't need a special camera. You can just use it with your phone with this normal adapter. And so if you want to actually take nice pictures of yourself and not only selfies all the time, this is a good option, especially if you can use your watch as a remote or if you buy a separate one of those cheap Bluetooth remotes. Okay, so this is my tech pouch with a bunch of normal stuff, but there's one item in this bag that you might think is a little bit paranoid and extreme, but it has given me some peace of mind. Let's say you figured out how to lock your bag all up, you have a secure spot on your body to store your valuables when needed, and you have your digital life locked down. You get to your hotel room or Airbnb, you lock the door, and you finally feel like you can relax, but should you? As you can see in this video, hotels aren't nearly as secure as you might think. There's tons of tips in that video on how to make your hotel room more secure with door stops or deadbolt straps or other things, but this is my one new secret weapon. This looks like a simple USB charger, but it's actually a hidden security cam that can watch over my room and all my gear when I'm out exploring. It also doubles as a baby cam. It records to an SD card hidden on the inside, and you can also watch it from your phone if you set up with Wi-Fi, which will work better in an Airbnb that has more stable Wi-Fi than a hotel. But this whole idea brings up a darker question. If it's this easy for me to hide a camera, how do you know there isn't already one watching you? To discover the unexpected places that creeps hide cameras in hotels and Airbnbs, plus how to find them, watch this video next. It turns out this is actually kind of a big issue, so it's important to know what to look out for. All right, guys, like, subscribe, do the things. Love you. Bye-bye.